Hi, I'm Ben Ferguson, and welcome to your AMAC Weekly News. First up, the attempt to stifle conservative voices has now gone so far that even Donald Trump Jr.'s Twitter account was temporarily restricted because the social media company didn't like what he reposted. More on what the president is now doing to protect all of our freedom of speech from being attacked. Also, U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr took part in a hearing in the House Judiciary Committee this past week. Now, it appeared that liberals just brought him in to attack him personally from every angle. The good news is Barr wasn't having any of it, and he decided he was going to give it right back to them. We'll have the highlights of this oops moment for the left in just a moment. And finally, AMAC has been invited to 3 White House events just since July the 13th. The most recent event was a signing of multiple executive orders that affect your prescription drug costs. We'll be joined by AMAC Vice President Andy Mangione here in a moment to explain all of that. But first, a quick reminder, if you want to irritate the left, make sure you share this video right now. Your AMAC Weekly News starts right now. We all know that conservative voices are consistently being stifled on social media, regardless of our right to free speech provided to us by the U.S. Constitution. Now it's gone so far that even Donald Trump Jr.'s Twitter account was temporarily restricted just this week. Why? Because he shared a video that went viral of doctors talking about COVID-19. That's right, tweeting a video of America's frontline doctors being hosted by an elected official and sponsored by the Tea Party Patriots on Capitol Hill will now get you banned on social media for even sharing a different set of ideas on treatment for COVID-19. Now, this video didn't just go viral in the United States either. It was actually the top performing Facebook post in the world as of Monday afternoon when it was airing. Now, the video accumulated over 17 million views during the 8 hours that it was posted on Facebook. At one point, it even had 185,000 concurrent viewers. Now, the problem was that these doctors who have treated COVID patients challenged the narrative the media and many liberals have been pushing about the drug hydroxychloroquine. Now, we are not going to even play a clip of the video. Why? Because the left will remove this entire broadcast if we put it in this video. And social media will immediately go after us for sharing it. Now, the point everyone should be making is this. It should not be a crime for an actual doctor or doctors to share a viewpoint, their viewpoint, on medicine. Now, we are not endorsing anything that these doctors said. What we are saying is that we defend the right for these doctors to actually have free speech. Big tech is clearly coming after anyone who backs President Donald Trump. This is wrong. Dr. Simone Gold is an emergency medicine specialist and part of America's frontline doctors that had this press conference. I want you to take a look at what she said on Fox News Tuesday night about this censorship.
The American people have been told that this is just something they need to have a lot of fear and a lot of panic over, and it's simply not true. There's a cure, there's treatment for early COVID disease, and that's hydroxychloroquine and zinc. It's very straightforward. It's easy. When you look at data from other countries, it's easy. We just don't have that kind of access here. And if anybody has any doubt that this is the answer, all they have to do is notice that YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook deleted all information about this. You know, we did do a press conference, but we also had 6 hours of education from physicians explaining exactly why the drug works and going over all the safety and efficacy. They even took down our website. It's incredible. So, I mean, somebody's really afraid of getting the truth out. But I'm here to tell the American people, hydroxychloroquine and zinc, we're going to get the information back up soon, America's frontline doctors.
Now, I want to be very clear. This has nothing to do with advocating or supporting any of the things that these doctors actually said. What AMAC is actually talking about here is the fact that we're censoring people for their views. The First Amendment should protect people, and even if it isn't a disagreement. Now, it's really concerning right now that the left and the media are silencing healthcare professionals in the middle of a pandemic. There should be a great debate. Doctors should be able to be free to come out and talk about what is working for them. This is how we get closer to actually getting a cure and protecting all Americans. For many Americans, this is actually an issue of life and death. And doctors should not be afraid that if they talk about something that the president happened to mention, that their life will be attacked and their words will be silenced. Now, the good news is the president signed an executive order calling for a clarification in the Communications Decency Act, because right now, online platforms literally have immunity when they silence conservative voices. It is time that we come together, that we stand with the president as he is fighting for our First Amendment rights to not be walked all over by big tech. And AMAC is here to make sure that none of our voices are ever silenced again. On Tuesday, the Attorney General of the United States, Bill Barr, appeared before the House Judiciary Committee that's run by Democrats. For what purpose, you may ask? Well, it appeared he was only there for liberals on the committee to attack him personally. One of their favorite sentences throughout the entire hearing was, "Reclaiming my time." Let me just show you a glimpse of the left and how they now work in Congress.
It wasn't
reclaiming my time. In April,
times is when does something actually become customary
reclaiming my time. This is not a trick question.
in this country
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General.
without any remedy at all.
I'm reclaiming my time. Let me share with you.
Well, you got to let him answer.
Reclaiming my time.
Directed.
Reclaiming my time, sir. Reclaiming my time.
But he found
Reclaiming my time without political bias.
He said he
and
found
in
no
April,
evidence.
reclaiming my time, Mr. Turner.
That's
Reclaiming
where
my
the video is
time.
from. That's where the
Reclaiming my
video
time,
is from.
Mr. Barr.
Occurring substances.
Attorney General, reclaiming my time. There are rules by which we operate here. I would ask you to respect them.
But
There's
the
no question for you
64
yet.
Act did
Excuse
not
me.
extend to
Reclaiming my time, sir. In both documents.
Mr. Attorney General,
I think
reclaiming
that's
my
what I
time.
was talking
Reclaiming my time.
I think that's what it's
Okay, reclaiming my time. And again, I'm happy.
Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say, Mr.
Shame on you.
Can I just
My
say,
time has expired.
Now, it's very clear that liberals coordinated for weeks. They're planning on how they were going to attack the Attorney General and that they never intended to actually allow him to respond to their questions. They attempted to berate Barr in 5-minute installments, accusing him of corruption, perjury, violating his oath, betraying the Constitution. At one point, they even accused him of killing thousands of COVID-19 victims, apparently by simply being the AG during a pandemic. Now, it all started with a speech by chairman of the committee, Jerry Nadler, which included this statement. Take a look.
In your time at the department, you have aided and abetted the worst failings of the president.
Now, what was so laughable about all of this organized, orchestrated effort to attack the Attorney General is liberals truly believed that they were going to be able to get Barr into their chamber and have him just sit there while they were letting out all their frustrations or practicing their scripts for their future TV ads for their reelection. Even more than that, they seem to think that AG Barr wouldn't have the opportunity to get his own jabs in at them. Well, they don't know him, and now they do. Take a look at the response from the Attorney General.
The department looked at it and advised that Congress can determine the meaning of inhabitant for this purpose, that it is not a self-defining term as they
only got 2 minutes, sir.
That they recognized.
Mr. Barr, if I
Yeah,
may.
but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.
Well, and I'm going to get there.
What is truly amazing to me is apparently the left genuinely thought that the Attorney General would just sit there and take it. Well, guess what? AG Barr is just like our president. He is willing to fight back with the facts. Now, AMAC will make sure that our voices are heard in Washington, D.C. and across the nation on this important issue, the issue of protecting this country and our laws, even our courthouses that are under attack by these, quote, peaceful protesters. And we will not be silenced, and we will make sure that when people like Barr stand up, that everybody hears what they have to say. This week was a massive victory for AMAC at the White House. Joining me now to talk about what this means for you is Senior Vice President of AMAC Action, Andy Mangione. Andy, I really appreciate you coming on. There are certain weeks when you see all the hard work that AMAC Action does pay off in a big way. For me, this was probably the biggest week I've ever seen for AMAC Action, playing an extraordinary role in some major changes coming that are going to help our members. Talk about this event at the White House.
I'm happy to, Ben. The president signed 4 executive orders last Friday, all designed to lower the cost of prescription drugs. The first order discounts insulin and epinephrine for certain low-income Americans. The second order will allow state plans for safe importation of certain drugs and authorize the reimportation of insulin products made in the United States. The third order prohibits secret deals between drug manufacturers and pharmacy benefit manager middlemen and ensures patients directly benefit from available discounts at the pharmacy counter. The fourth order ensures that the United States pays the lowest prices available in economically comparable countries for Medicare Part D drugs. This is important because the United States often pays 80% more for these drugs than other developed countries.
You had an AMAC member that actually got to share their story with the president at this event, which was huge. And I want you to talk about what this means in practical terms about the savings that so many people in this country and AMAC members, obviously, are going to get because of what the president did and really the hard work of what AMAC Action did to get this deal done.
But AMAC has been lobbying Congress and lobbying the administration to talk about the problematic relationships pharmacy benefit managers have with drug manufacturers. What they demand of drug companies is that they pay a rebate to access the roster of PBM insured lives. It's an access fee, and it runs in the billions of dollars, and it negatively impacts the list cost of drugs. Now, what the president did was compel pharmacy benefit managers through his executive order to share these discounts with Medicare beneficiaries at the point of purchase, so their out-of-pocket expenses will drastically be reduced. To talk about this and other drug cost expenditures and how high they are, an AMAC member was invited on stage with the president. There were only 2 speakers at this event, Ben, and one was an AMAC member. Her name is Andrea Eckles, and we have her testimony on amac.us if you wanted to check it out. She talked about being a single mother. She was widowed at a young age and struggling to pay for her prescription drugs. And then during the last 3.5 years of the Trump presidency, noticing a palpable drop in these costs and how it impacted positively her life and her household expenses.
And, you know, one of the things that I think is so big about this legislation, and you mentioned it, but I just want to highlight a little bit more, is this is about giving you savings at the point of needing this medication, these medications, not having to wait for a reimbursement, a check, or something to come in the mail later. And that is something that AMAC members had told us was so important to them. Is like, hey, the upfront costs need to come down, the time waiting to get these rebates, the paperwork and everything else. And that's literally what the president has done here.
That's exactly right. Pharmacy benefit managers rake in about $30 billion in rebates from drug companies. They're going to be compelled to share these rebates with Medicare beneficiaries at the point of purchase. So at the pharmacy counter. So this preliminarily looks like a 30% reduction in out-of-pocket expenses for Medicare members, Medicare beneficiaries, and seniors throughout the country. This is a major victory for AMAC members and all seniors.
It's incredible news, Andy. Again, you guys are doing incredible work with AMAC Action. This is why it's so important for our members to stay involved and also let us know what they need, what issues they're having, what the government can be doing better on their behalf. And this is a massive victory for all of our members this week. Again, to you guys and your team, congratulations on getting something truly historic done for everybody in the country.
Thank you, Ben. It's our pleasure. We'll continue to fight on behalf of the membership.
And again, you can watch that testimonial from the AMAC member on the website, amac.us. Andy, again, see you soon. Thanks so much.
My pleasure, Ben. Thank you.
Again, an incredible week for every AMAC member. And AMAC Action is doing such good work to make sure that they are telling your stories, just like we were able to do this week at the White House. To the AMAC Action team, thank you for all that you've been doing and for this massive victory with the president at the White House. That's it for this edition of your AMAC Weekly News. Most importantly, if you haven't renewed your AMAC membership or joined AMAC, do it now so you can continue to watch this show and get our incredible member benefits. More importantly, AMAC is fighting for our First or Second Amendment rights in Washington, D.C. and around the country. Also, if you haven't shared this video and you want to irritate the left, make sure you hit share right now. I'm Ben Ferguson, and I'll see you back next week for our next episode.